वाला नहीं है।
Moving on to more breaking news coming. Air India is set to suspend its flight to Washington, D.C. from 1st of September, temporarily suspending flight services between Delhi, Washington. The flight suspension is due to a combination of operational factors, and we'll get more details on these so-called operational factors that Air India has cited while announcing that no Air India flight will arrive in Washington, D.C. from New Delhi. Suspension due to operational factors. We're yet to get details about these operational factors as claimed by Air India, but this is the big breaking news that we are tracking at the moment. From 1st of September, no flights will take off from New Delhi to Washington, D.C. No Air India flights. We'll also get our aviation team on our screens in just a few seconds from now, but let's stick to this breaking news that we're tracking at the moment. Viewers, Air India is set to suspend all its flights from Delhi to Washington, D.C. from 1st of September. Operational issues is what Air India has cited so far for the reason for the suspension of flight operations from Delhi to Washington, D.C. This is a major announcement that has come in from Air India. And Air India has made this announcement just now. It has announced to suspend its flight to Washington, D.C. from 1st of September, temporarily suspending its flight services between Delhi and Washington, D.C. And when questioned and when asked about the reason, Air India said it is due to a combination of operational factors. What are these operational factors? Well, Harsha will be joining us in just a few seconds to help us understand and also throw light on these operational factors that Air India is talking about. But right now, what we know is that no Air India flight will fly from Delhi to Washington, D.C. It is temporarily suspended. The flight services between New Delhi and Washington, D.C. starting from September 1st, citing a combination of operational factors as the reason behind this decision. We have Harsha joining us live. Harsha, what is the combination of operational factors that Air India has cited when it has announced the suspension of all Air India flights from Delhi to Washington, D.C.?
Deepak, you're absolutely right. So Air India just released and in the letter the Air India flight from Delhi to Washington has been suspended from September 4, and it is some sort of biggest technical flag. And also multiple airlines of Air India, which were earlier flying to Washington, have already been grounded, and they now have a minimum flights to Washington, and that's the reason the ones which are operating, they have faced multiple flags and the issue in the aircraft, and that. That's the reason why the flights have been suspended. These are press release where they have stated that no flights of Air India will go to Washington from September 1st. Till what time it's going to be there, we don't know about it. But yes, one thing for sure, we know that right now it has been conveyed to Ministry of Civil Aviation and DGC, also regulatory body. And earlier this decision was taken after a meeting with MOCA only. Last week, Air India CEO Campbell Wilson, he met MOCA Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu, and after that, a meeting between regulatory body, Minister of Civil Aviation, and Air India CEO Campbell Wilson was conducted, and it was decided to check all the malfunction and the technical issues in the aircraft Boeing 787 and 777, the aircraft which fly to Washington after suspecting
Harsha, what about all those passengers who have already booked their flight tickets? Because these tickets are not really cheap, to say the least, and Air India's mistakes, the brunt is being borne by the passengers. What about the passengers who have already booked their tickets?
So, Deepak, they will be refunded. It has been stated that the passengers who had booked their flights to Washington, and their money will be given back. So they will be refunded. They will be asked that after a certain period of time, if you want to use it after 2 to 3 months when the operation will start, either they can use it that time, or either they can just cancel it and they will be refunded their money. So this has been stated to the passengers. We have the entire release which has been shared by the Air India to the media persons, and shortly will share those release as well. Because right now, as I'm speaking to you, I have gotten the release from Air India itself, where they have mentioned each and everything in detail. very briefly about what is going to happen and how passengers will be accommodated.
That's right, Harsha. Thank you for joining us with those details, Harsha. Well, that's the big announcement coming in from